everybody. So I'm about to start the quiz presentation for Group B, and we have a case where we're a service for fee business model. So we were providing a service, subscription based, where we would deliver to fitness center custom made functional food, in the specific case yogurt, that has been developed tailor-made on data acquired directly by the customer. So the customer would wear a wearable device, a Fitbit, or maybe an iPhone with an app on it, would do a subscription. We would collect the data, and then we would prepare, we would produce or made as a part of the yogurt with the specification of the customer, and then deliver it to the fitness center where the customer could collect it. And basically we would make or profit from selling the service, or from selling the app. Now my colleague Anita will go on slide number 2.
Hi everyone. Okay, according to our business model, we understood that our key resources will be lactobacillium casei, which is understandable, further additives, knowledge of fitness supporting food. And our core competencies will be processing of health and fitness data, adaptation of the yogurt's compositions and individualization of this yogurt, because we understand that our customer will have some different individual needs and preferences, market price and interesting packaging, logistics, which means delivery and make it.
I'll take it over from here. So in order to realize our business model, as we already established before, we need to have a relationship with our customers, and to ensure that, we need to partner up. We need to have key value partners both on the input side and on the distribution side. And on the input side, we do require the data. So we do require to team up with the collectors of the individual fitness data, be it the manufacturer of the fitness trackers or the provider of the specific apps, who are able to collect that data and for us to use it. And on the distribution side, we will be teaming up with the fitness centers, who will then be our window to the customers to ensure that this relationship is working. And Nina will take it over from me.
Thank you, Maria. Hello, everyone. We are now moving over to the differentiation potential and the USPs. So the USPs are unique selling propositions. What does that mean? That means that they make us, so those are the features that make us unique compared to other competing brands. In our case, this would be tailor-made functional food. So the food is individualized in line with the consumer. The support for individual health and fitness targets, meaning each consumer has their own targets. Some want to fight constipation, some want to fight IBS, some want to have fitness targets, lose weight, for example. So we have to we have to individualize the functional food in line with those goals. More sugar, less sugar, more flavor, less flavor, etc. The next point is continuous adjustment based on health and fitness data. This would mean that the product evolves along with the consumer, which means the next month, for example, when the consumer wants something different, another flavor perhaps, or more sugar or less sugar in line with their own health goals, we can deliver and we can individualize the product in line with that. And lastly, the automated delivery, meaning that we can deliver the product to the consumer, for example, every first Wednesday of the month. This way, the consumer will know the product is arriving, he knows when it's coming, at which date, and what he ordered. Moving on to the market access, and my colleague.
Hello, everyone. So market access and market position at this at this part, the main point is how we will create our position in the market, and how we will let our customers to know about our value. So we distinguished our main target group, and we focus on the health lifestyle people. And here we see health conscious people, sportive people, self-optimizers. How we will create customer relationships. So via subscription, we will suggest the health fitness apps and personalized nutritional tips based on data. And what our sales channels are. So we focus on the cooperative fitness partners and direct home delivery. And Rita, the floor is yours.
And now we are going to the next slide, which is about the 360 degrees IP strategy. And as it is 360 degrees, it means an overview and a holistic perception of IP of the company. What was in the past, what we have in the present, what we can maintain to create a sustainable competitive advantages and keep them for the current period, and make it even more developed for the future. So basically, my colleagues in the further slides will show you in the individual objectives how the current IP strategy can be connected to the next generation IP strategy. Basically, we are going out, of course, of the present, which is the managing risks obligation. Basically, how we keep our exclusivity with the current existing portfolio of IPs, and what are the basic threats which are approaching to our products. With regards to that, we have to look back into the future and have a detailed analysis of our competitors, their products, the necessary threats, and the possibilities to make an IP strategy which build on the present IP portfolio and extend this with added values to the user. So the perception of the IP strategy should be a bit changed to the user dimension. What gives add value to the customer, and how we can build up a successful IP strategy which can focus on the user instead of the product, taking into account our main IP purposes. And this is going to give us a look to the future, where we can create and design IP strategies along with the product strategies and commercial strategies that can help us to create future strategies.
So taking into account what previous presenters said, we can build the 360 objective matrix, combining the 360 IP strategy and business model perspectives. So as you can see, we can make kind of interpolation for resource perspective and market perspective from vertically, and business model realization and competition positioning horizontally. So as Rita said, we can make more details about managing risks, suppressing imitation, communicating the selling points, and designing the market position with the relation to connecting of realization of business model, for example, and resource perspective. So for managing risks, the general objective would be safeguarding the value creation. For suppressing imitation, we can say that the general objective would be exclusifying resources, so that we have to make our product more exclusive. From communicating, so we are mostly targeted to the customer. So there is the main objective is skimming the willingness to pay, so taking all the benefits from this willingness, And for the last one, for designing the market position, so the aim is to make the strategy on prohibition against competitors. And the details of these objectives will be told by my colleague.
Hi, so we are now, after we've determined what our business model is going to be, we have specific objectives that we would like to achieve to enable the conversion to this new business model. So firstly, we would like to manage our risk. And in doing so, because we are using a lot of digital elements, we would definitely need to ensure that we are not infringing on any third-party rights, because we'll be dealing with a lot of technology, and so we would have to ensure that those things are in place. And also, we would need to have proper strategic licensing in place. We are going to be using a lot of standardized technology for data, as that is one important aspect of our business model. We need to collect particular data to enable our customization in terms of our product. And so we would definitely need to ensure that we have the proper licensing and permission in place to enable that. And also in terms of our strategic partners, another one would be the fitness places. And so we would want to ensure that we have proper exclusivity and exclusive licensing agreements with these persons, so that we of course will benefit from that exclusivity. We would also need to suppress any sort of imitation, and by doing so, we would of course need to have exclusive resources. And one particular value that we have is of course our optimization model, because now we're not focusing on the product. There's so many different yogurt products on the market, and so the recipe and the product itself is not our focus on this business model, but the distinguishing factors that we are now supplying as a service to our customers. So we would firstly need to ensure that our optimization model is protected, and we would also need to identify whatever the core elements of the individualized food production, because now we're actually selling a product or a service, I should say, that is allowing you to individualize what you're consuming. And this is definitely a distinguishing and important factor that will set us apart. And so from a resource perspective, we need to ensure that whatever those core elements are, we need to ensure it's properly protected. And so we have exclusivity through patenting. We would need to focus on our logistics. Because of the nature of the product, logistics is a big part. The product needs to be cooled. And so we would definitely need to optimize that particular logistics. And whatever that optimization is, ensure that we avoid any sort of imitation by protecting it. And also, of course, looking to see what other ways our competitors could possibly come up with, so that we have not just what we plan on using, but also other options in the future that we could also implement, even though we cannot or may not be able to implement it right now. So those are some of our objectives from the resource perspective. And so I'm going to pass you on to my colleague, Johannes, who will let you know our objectives as it pertains to the market perspective.
Now we will take a look on the market perspective, especially we start with the future position, namely designing the market position. Of course, for the future, we search for other ways to create customized yogurt and block them by the means of IP to prohibit, of course, future competitors to introduce new and dangerous products. Then we search for other logistic solutions, example given self-cooling packages, and create correspondent patterns to avoid a dependency of the fitness studios. Further, we have to communicate the unique selling point for the continuity, to make sure that the customers understand the distinctive character of the product by the means of the exclusive communication elements, and of course create and protect a unique package design that gives the impression of our unique selling point of our product.